Today is January 6th, 2016. We are in the house of Jason MacArthur in Marlboro. On video camera is David Holzapfel. On audio recorder is Sarah Burt. And on still camera is Logan McKay. And I am Zanathan McNeese. I'd like to ask you a few questions about your background. You've lived in Marlboro your whole life. Is that true?
That is true.
Have you ever lived anywhere else?
Yeah, for a number of years I lived other places, I went for various reasons. Yeah. But primarily lived here.
Where else have you lived?
I lived down near Amherst, Massachusetts for a number of years. When I went to college in New York State, I sort of lived there and here, sort of half and half. I've traveled quite a bit around the world. I've spent about 8 months living in Zimbabwe. I spent, probably a year in a couple different stints living in southern France. So sort of traveling around, always coming back to a base here.
You always lived on MacArthur Road.
I have. Yeah. All my time in Marlboro has been on MacArthur Road, yeah.
What sort of things were you interested in?
You mean now, or am I? Or, well, I have 2 little kids, so they take up a lot of my time and interest. I have a business that I run making cider. Hard cider, so that takes up a lot of time and energy. I have a job. Beyond those things, if I get a chance to go for a bike ride, go for a ski, cross-country ski, I'm pretty happy. But it doesn't happen very often. So.
How would you describe yourself as a child?
As a child? I would say... Boy. I would say I was a somewhat naive child, in a good way. I enjoyed being, I wasn't particularly pressured to be part of a larger world. I enjoyed thinking about, I guess I'll say, like, an older childhood is a long span. I guess I spent a lot of time in my own head, and I was pretty happy in my own head, and probably something that still holds true about me.
What are your parents' names, and what are their occupations?
So, my parents are Dan and Gail MacArthur. My father is a carpenter. When I worked with him, kind of more or less full-time, so we worked together doing general carpentry. My mother is a farmer, so she grows raspberries, blueberries, vegetables for sale at a farm stand.
What other family members live near you?
So I have a number of family members who all live on this road. My sister and her husband and 2 kids live right down the road. I also have an aunt and an uncle and their spouses, partners, and my grandfather as well, who lives on the road. So my grandparents moved here. They were the first in the family, obviously, to move here, and a lot of their children stayed around, and now some of my generation have chosen to be here. So.
What are some What are some of the benefits of living near other members of your family?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is childcare, but that's actually, not to be glib about it, it's great to have childcare. I don't know, there's a really nice sense of continuity for me living near my family. I really enjoy the company of my family, so I guess that's the basic thing, is that I like my family. I like my parents, I like my extended family. I feel really lucky to have that. I think a lot of people don't feel that way. So to get to be lucky enough to choose to live near them and have that work out is a good thing.
Is there any downside to that?
To living near my family?
Yeah.
I don't know, since I don't know how I might be a different person if I didn't live near them. I mean, I have lived other places, but not maybe for long enough to really establish myself in an identity somewhere else. There may be downsides, not that I sort of focus on or am aware of on a daily basis.
You attended the Marlboro Elementary School and then Marlboro High School. Who were your more important teachers at the elementary school and in high school?
So let's see. Teachers who made a big impact on me. I would say the teachers that I really remember were my teachers from like 4th grade on at Marlboro. So that was John Esau, Connie Barton, and Bruce Cole and Michael Edelstein were my teachers at Marlboro from 4th to 8th grade. And I think in their own ways they all made a big impact on me. When I was in high school, I had a social studies teacher named Bill Holliday, who I think I had a lot of respect for, and I felt a lot of mutual respect, so that we had a good relationship. I would say those are the teachers that come to mind.
Can you speak a bit about why a couple of your teachers were important?
I suppose a good teacher, I think a good teacher is someone who, or I've always felt like a good teacher is someone who forces me to rethink assumptions I've made. And teachers about the world, and teachers who've pushed me, challenged me, have been the teachers that I guess I always interpreted that as a sign of respect from a teacher. If someone didn't allow me to make a statement without questioning it about why I'd made it, I always appreciated that.
What did you do after high school?
After high school, I went to college. I went to Bard College in New York State.
What did you study at Bard College?
I was at Bard. I studied, it was a program called Community Regional Environmental Studies. And essentially, the idea of the program was to look at the environmental, political, cultural forces of a given place. So to look at the sort of economy and the culture of a place through a broad lens, but with place being the focus.
What was your major?
So that was my major. It was called,
Okay.
it was called the CRES program. CRES was the acronym. Yeah.
What did you do after graduating from Bard?
After graduating from Bard, at that point, I moved down to Amherst, Massachusetts. I had a girlfriend at the time who was going to the University of Massachusetts, and so I lived down there.
When did you get married to Lauren?
Yeah, Lauren. I got married to Lauren in 2010.
How did you meet?
Lauren was a friend of my sister's, and she just, well, actually we were both getting divorced at the time, and my sister said, "Hey, I think you guys would have something to talk about," and the rest is history.
When you